Hi again folks, how you all doing? Well, today's adventure is this Hornby Class 66 Chinook that was sent to me by Bernard. He was given this by a friend and he's got no idea if it runs or not. He's asked me to take a look at it and sort out anything that needs sorting. Let's turn on the power and see what happens. Oh, I was kind of expecting this to be a non-runner. I'm not going to run it very far because there are clearly issues. So yeah, we'll back this into the shed and we'll get it to the bench and we'll have a look at it. Come on. Okay then, a Hornby Class 66. It's getting a bit chilly. It wasn't long since I was complaining about the heat and now it's getting cold. Right, okay, so yeah, this is in a bit of a state. The bogies are all loose and that's why I didn't attempt to run it any distance. We've got the buffers are all missing. There's a wee bit of external damage. It's seen some action, this thing, I think. But I like a 66 and it looks quite nice in this Barbie livery. There's that paint spill on top of that. Maybe try and clean that up. But yeah, the motor runs clearly, but we've got a broken front bogie there, and I don't think this bogie's broken, it's just popped out. So I think I'll try and get the body off this. I don't see any screws or anything, so I think it just clips. Yeah, it's going to come out easy. Easy peasy. So you can see that front bogie is well and truly broken. I wouldn't fancy my chances of doing a successful glue repair on that, but fortunately I went on to Peter's Spares and they've got a replacement. So we'll need to remove the wheels and the pickups and replace that front bogie. We've got an 8-pin DCC socket with blanking plate fitted, and it's one of those motors. Not my favourite motor bogie. You can see the pickups there are in a bit of a mess, and it's in dire need of a good clean. There's all sorts of rubbish down in there. So I think we'll try and take the bogies apart. Let's try with the front one first of all. There we go. Do it that way. Get the screwdriver in there. And then it comes out. There's always a knack to doing these things. Yeah. Right, okay, I'll lift all these wheels out. Oh, gee whiz. I've never seen that before. Well, that's a new one on me. I mean, these wheels just popped out, but this centre wheel is trapped by the pickups. And this has been mangled. Dear oh dear. That out. I don't think there's any way I can replace this bogie without desoldering these pickups. So we'll just go ahead and do it. Just that one off. And that one off. Right, okay, let's just pull that out. There's a bit melted insulation on this wire, so that's the one that goes on this side. Pull these wires out, and then we can try and get this out. Get that out. Now the power bogie. Unfortunately, the pickups are plastic riveted onto the motor casing. That's a bit of a blow. This thing needs new traction tyres as well. That one's well rotten, and that one's non-existent. Right, take that off. There we go. It's in a right old state. Oh my. Right, take the wheels out. Thankfully we don't appear to have any split gears. What on earth is that? It looks like a bit of a plastic tree or something. Little bits of metal. Lots of fluffage. I think that's a track pin. Jings. We've got a mangled pickup there as well. I've just spotted another track pin in there. See all the rubbish that's come out of this motor so far. So the two halves of the motor casing are held together with these 4 screws. So we'll undo them and see if we can get this apart. And that'll allow me to clean it properly. I suspect this model has spent some time in a box along with a load of other bits and pieces. Alright, is that going to come apart? That comes off, and there's the motor and the gears. I wouldn't normally use this directly on a locomotive, but I think it's called for in this instance. Just so much rubbish. Spray duster might be another idea. Again, not something I would normally use directly on a model, but needs must. I've now frozen it. That's why I don't use those spray dusters on models normally. I've frozen it. That's all frost. Get the manky brush in it now. What a mess. I'll get some contact cleaner on the pickups. We'll get some fresh lubrication into all the gear spindles. We'll get some gear oil in here as well. And we'll get some silicone grease in for good measure. It's so annoying having these wires attached all the time. Everything is covered in what looks like iron filings. Somebody has been doing a bit of metal filing or using wire wool. Don't use wire wool anywhere near a model locomotive. So I think I'll clean these wheels up and we'll get this back together. We'll just give them a good scoosh. Actually, we'll get this rotten old traction tyre off. I'll need to see if I've got any traction tyres that fit this. I did have a look at the service sheet and surprise, surprise, it's not any help. It doesn't tell you, it didn't mention anything about traction tyres, so I've no idea what the correct traction tyres are. I don't know what the part number is, but I'm sure I'll have something that will fit. About these, if they're a little bit on the small side, that's okay, they'll stretch on. But you certainly don't want them being too big or too wide. Right, we'll see how they go. Goes in like that. Snip that on. Make sure I haven't broken any wires off. Pickups all look okay. Right, press this back down into there. Right, okay. I want to get the coupling back on. That. It's lost its hook, but we won't worry about that. This front bogie. There's another kettle of fish. And we want to replace that with this. Gives me a good scoosh. Something I didn't do actually was oil the axles on the power bogie. Oops. Blimey. Now I've got to refit these pickups and this one's all bent. So I need to straighten that out first of all. It's better. So that would go on like that. And then that one will go on like that. And I'll solder that wire to that pickup. And the other wire to this pickup. That's that. There we go. There's the wires soldered back onto the pickups. No doubt I've got them the wrong way around and I'll need to do them again. Always happens. Right. What am I doing? Oh, you idiot. You've got to feed the wires through the bogie. Sometimes I wonder about myself. You've got to feed the wires through the bogie before you solder on the pickups. Well done. Well done. Is it beer o'clock yet? No, not yet. Okay. Oh, nice bit of soldering there as well. But we're going to have to take it off and do it again. And I'll still probably get it the wrong way around. Through there. Get that bogie clicked in place. Now we can solder the pickups on. What a goat. I think if I do get the polarity wrong on the wiring on this bogie, I can just swap the pickups over. I don't think I need to desolder them again. There we go. Let's get these wheels in. There, fits in there. That will be clamped in place once the bottom plate is on. So there's the pickups in place in this front bogie. If I've got them wrong, I can just take them off and swap them over. I don't have to desolder anything. Right, this should clip in. Why is that not clipping in? The bogie looks pretty much the same, but I think it is slightly different. That's not clipping in place. It's a bit of a blow. So this plate clips on at this end okay, but not at this end. So I think what I'll have to do is drill a wee hole in the end there and put a screw through to hold that in place. There we go. Wee screw in there just to hold that plate in place. Right, okay, let's find out if we've got the polarity right on this front bogie. Okay, so is it going to short or is it going to run? Yay! Wee bit of a wobble. That's those traction tyres. Right, okay, so at least I know I've got my wiring right. I'm going to take this off again, oil up the axles, and yeah, try different traction tyres. I think I'll go online and see if I can find what the correct ones actually are. But as I say, the service sheet doesn't show them. And I think I'll take this off again and get some oil into the axles as well. But we're nearly there. However, it's beer o'clock, so I shall come back to this tomorrow. Okay, so this is the next day. I found some traction tyres that I think will work fine. They're actually these ones. Hang on, I'll get the endoscope. These are the traction tyres for old Hornby 00 diesels. They fit into the groove. They don't appear to be too thick, so I think they'll kind of stay nice and round. So I'm fitting those. We'll just get this popped back in, and we'll get some oil into the axles this time, which I forgot to do. Now I want to open up this bogie again and get some oil into the axles. Undo the little screw that I put in there. A few spots of oil and the axles in there. Get that back in place. And I'll need to refit that little screw. And there we are. Let's see how this runs now. Hopefully it doesn't wobble. Bit of pickup squeak. Won't worry about that. It's pulling about 150 milliamps. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'll have a wee look at the body. So the body will clean up okay. There's a bit of damage to this white handrail or pipe at the front. We'll get a wee spot of glue in that. But I think first we'll get some warm soapy water and give this a wipe over. So just some warm soapy water. And we'll go over this and try and clean it up a bit. There we go. Let's get rid of that horrible green paint mark. There we go. That looks a bit better. Right, a wee touch of super glue. Let's see if I can fix this. There we go. That looks a bit better. Right, one last thing to do is fit some buffers onto this. Bernard has given me some replacements, so I'm not going to have to go hunting for them. Let's just see if these just plug in. Those, right, the the buffers have all been broken off. Wouldn't you know it? So the buffers have been broken off. So it's not just a case of plugging the other ones in. I'm going to have to drill the old stems of the old buffers out. Just looking at this closely, I don't think these buffers were plugged in at all. I think they were moulded parts of the chassis. Right, okay, we will try and drill holes for these replacement buffers. This is going to be a bit tricky actually. There we go. And that's what we're going to have to do. It's one fitted. Right, need to try and create some sort of pilot hole in here. Just to give the drill bit something to guide it. That's better. Oh, come on. Need to charge this up. Yeah, this has only had a few minutes charge, but hopefully it'll just have enough. There we go. That's that last buffer in. Right, maybe a bit of a tidy up here, and then I think we're done. So we'll pop the body back on. Should just clip on nice and easy. There, I think it's quite in right at this end. There we go. Right, final test. Nice. So there we go, bogey's sorted, all cleaned up, buffers fitted, job done. Right then, let's pull it out of the shed. So there we are, that's this old Hornby Class 66 sorted out. Needed a new front bogie, buffers, pickups adjusted, and a new set of traction tyres, as well as a really good clean out. It was a right old mess, full of fluff, iron filings and foreign objects. Fitting the buffers was a bit more work than I anticipated, but all sorted and it seems to run fine. Not the best motor bogie in the world this, it's similar to the one in my Class 5.3 and in the Class 4.23 that I worked on recently. I don't think I'd buy another model with that sort of plastic encased motor with no bearings, but this seems to run fine, but it's never going to crawl that well, I don't think. But always nice to get another old diesel back up and running, so I shall get this packed up and sent back to Bernard. Catch you later, folks.